Welcome to NFL. Close your eyes and let the story begin.
Chapter 2. It had never occurred to Umid that her father's occasional headaches could be the result of such a grave illness. When his head hurt, he would take a tablet. Everything would be fine. And now... Major Alam Javed feared the operation only because it might shorten his life. Yet his life was destined to be just that brief. How peacefully he would die, no one knew. One night, in the quiet of sleep, he gently bade farewell to the world. She remembered clearly how, for many days after his death, none of them could truly convince themselves that he was gone. It always felt as though he would walk in at any moment, or as if he were still right there with them. But slowly, one by one, they made their uneasy peace with reality. Umid took on the responsibilities of the household with the composure of a mature young woman. Through one of her father's friends, they were allowed to stay a while longer in the house provided by the army. During that time, there was only one person who supported and guided her at every step, and that was Jahanzeb. Without his and his family's help, their hardships and struggles would have multiplied many times over. Jahanzeb was the son of one of her father's friends, and their families shared deep ties. There was constant visiting between the two households. Jahanzeb's father was a businessman permanently settled in Rawalpindi, while Umid's family moved from city to city. Whenever they came to Rawalpindi during holidays, the two families would spend nearly the entire vacation together. Jahanzeb was 4 or 5 years older than her and possessed the same lively, playful temperament that Umid did. He very quickly began to take an interest in her, and this did not remain hidden from either family. Instead of objecting, both families accepted their fondness and formally arranged their engagement. She was still in matriculation when her engagement to Jahanzeb was settled, and she was ecstatic about it. After the engagement, Jahanzeb would call her from Rawalpindi 2 or 3 times a week. Even during Major Alam Javed's illness, their bond with Jahanzeb and his family remained just as strong. Every weekend, they would come from Rawalpindi to visit Alam Javed. Jahanzeb's father urged him to go abroad for treatment, but Major Alam Javed chose to ignore the advice. Treatment in America was exorbitant. Even if they sold everything they owned and went abroad, there was no guarantee the operation would succeed. And then what would become of his family? He did not want to leave them sitting on the pavement. Jahanzeb's father had even offered to send him abroad at his own expense, but Major Alam Javed declined that offer as well. He wanted neither a loan nor a favor because he did not want anything to cast a shadow over his daughter's future. Even after his passing, those ties remained intact. At that time, Jahanzeb was preparing to go abroad for further studies after completing his graduation. Despite this, he visited her almost every weekend and called her every day. His reassurances and consolations helped her immensely through a formidable phase of life. Her love for Jahanzeb grew deeper. Then, after making her many promises, he went abroad, and once there, he fulfilled every one of them. He wrote to her regularly and called from time to time. After Jahanzeb left, she completed her FSC with excellent marks. She could have gone to medical college, but she could not afford the high expenses. Jahanzeb's father found them a small yet very nice house in Rawalpindi. Using the funds they received after her father's death, they bought that house and moved to Rawalpindi. They no longer had much money left. Umid had no choice but to give up her education and try to support her family by taking up a job. And that is exactly what she did. For some time, she worked at various jobs in Rawalpindi. Then, in search of better opportunities, she moved to Lahore. With only an intermediate education, she knew all too well that she couldn't secure a good job, so she began preparing privately for a BA. During that period, she did countless kinds of work. Her day began at 5 in the morning and ended around 11 or 12 at night. Until 8, she studied on her own. Then she would get ready and go to the office, where she worked as a receptionist until 3. After finishing there, she went on to teach tuitions. Until 8 in the evening, she taught at different places, and then returned to the hostel, where she once again lost herself in her books. Only by working this hard was she able to send a reasonable amount of money home each month, money her family desperately needed. Despite working like a machine for 24 hours a day, she was not miserable. She remained calm and content at all times. This is only for a few years, she would tell herself. Then Jahanzeb will return, and everything will be all right. By then, I'll have fulfilled my responsibilities, and the two of us will live an exceptional life together. She thought this every week as she read the letter that arrived from Jahanzeb. Her roommate Akila also realized him. You're blessed, Umid. Your fiancé is wonderful. I'm amazed that even after going abroad, he still remembers you. Sending letters and cards like this, Akila would say, seeing the steady stream of letters and cards. Umid would listen with a smile, feeling a quiet pride in herself. In the rooms around her in the hostel, her fiancé was also discussed, and she was envied there. After a long, exhausting day, the only source of comfort she had was his letters and cards. She would spend some time with them, and then, almost miraculously, she would feel at peace. Once or twice a month, she went to Rawalpindi, spent the weekend there, and returned satisfied. Jahanzeb's father had told her many times not to work, that he could bear the household expenses, but she did not want that. She wanted to do everything herself for her family. She did not want the family she would one day enter as a daughter-in-law to feel burdened by obligations even before that day arrived. All right, life is hard, she thought. There are no comforts anymore, but I still have my self-respect. I don't have to lower my gaze before Jahanzeb's family, nor stretch out my hand in need. This thought would leave her content. After completing her BA, she took some computer courses and began working as a computer operator at a firm. During this time, both her brothers were in matriculation. From abroad, Jahanzeb would reassure her that once they graduated, he would call them over along with him. She would think of all that this man was willing to do for her and wonder how she could ever repay such devotion. She would write exactly this in her letters to him. His reply would come, "I'm not doing you a favor," he wrote back. "I'm loving you." Reading his reply, she would think that life was not a blind well. There was light in it, so much light and brilliance, only a little distance away. It was during those very days that he completed his studies and returned to Pakistan. A few days after his arrival, he visited her at the hostel. He looked more impressive than ever. "Umid, we should go to a restaurant. We can't really talk sitting here." He had driven from Rawalpindi and was now insisting that she go with him. "No, Jahanzeb, if we want to talk, we can do that sitting right here. Going out with you wouldn't be a good idea. Ever since I've been here, I haven't gone out with anyone. If I go with you now, I'll be noticed by everyone." She declined gently. "Then let them notice. What difference does it make?" he said carelessly. Umid looked at him in surprise. "It does make a difference, Jahanzeb. It matters to me, because I have to live here. You're not going to live here your whole life. You've lived enough already. I'm back now and I want to get married. After that, you won't need to be afraid of anything." The color of his face shifted slightly. "All right, but still, as long as I want to stay here, I want to stay properly." Umid tried to steer the conversation aside. "There's no need to be so conservative, Umid. I thought by now you'd have become a bit more liberal. But anyway, forget this debate. For now, just come with me. I've driven all the way from Rawalpindi to Lahore just for you." "Jahanzeb, this isn't right. It's already getting late, and roaming around with you like this, you should understand my problem." She tried to reason with him. "What's the problem with it? I'm your fiancé. You can tell everyone at the hostel." "Every girl here says the man she's going out with is her cousin or her fiancé, so it won't really make much difference if I say that." "Umid, this is nonsense. You should respect my wish and come with me." Jahanzeb's mood suddenly soured. Umid was taken aback. He had never insisted like this before. After their engagement in Rawalpindi, they spoke on the phone daily, and he often visited their home. But he had never asked her to go out with him like this, nor had he ever become stubborn over such a matter. And now he was growing angry. A strange unease crept into her heart. Despite his repeated insistence, she did not go with him. He left in a fury. Distressed, Umid returned to her room. "What happened? You look very worried," Akila said, reading the anxiety on her face. "No, nothing." She sat down on her bed. "You went to meet Jahanzeb. Did you meet him?" Akila asked, studying her face closely. "Yes." "Did you two have a fight?" Yes. What happened? Akila, he wanted to take me out. So? Akila replied in an unusually calm tone. So I refused. Why? It isn't right to go out with him like that. Why isn't it right? He's your fiancé. He's come back from abroad after so many years. But it is wrong, Akila, she almost burst out. What would everyone in the hostel think about me? And if my family found out, how would they feel? You don't need to worry about the people in the hostel. Let them think whatever they want. And as for your family, how would my family find out? They're in Rawalpindi. That's exactly why I don't want to deceive them. I don't dare to break their trust, Umid said firmly. Jahanzeb is absolutely right to be angry. This is exactly how one should deal with a girl like you. He loves you. And sometimes you worry about the hostel or your family. Why don't you ever think about yourself? What do you mean by that? I mean exactly what I'm saying. He's your fiancé. You should give priority to his wishes. If he wanted to take you out with him, there's nothing so terrible about that. There is something wrong with it. After my engagement to Jahanzeb, my father once told me, it's fine if he calls, you may talk to him, but never go out with him before marriage. Akila laughed strangely at this. Your father died a long time ago. Instead of repeating the golden words of those who are gone and living by them, one should think about the wishes of those who are alive. Umid felt as if she had been struck. She hadn't expected Akila to speak so mercilessly about her father. Look at me. I go out with Shafiq too, even though we're not even engaged. By your standards, that makes me a bad girl too, doesn't it? Umid couldn't tell whether she was being sarcastic or something else. That's your personal decision. I don't comment on other people's character, Umid replied quietly. But for myself, this doesn't feel right. Why doesn't it feel right? He has been your fiancé for 9 years. The engagement happened with your own consent. Forget your father's decree. If you set that aside, tell me, what harm is there in going out with him? He's not going to eat you alive. If you can talk to him on the phone, write letters, and meet him in the hostel, then what exactly is wrong with going out with him? A person shouldn't be hypocritical. She didn't know what Akila was trying to make her realize. Instead of saying anything, she quietly walked out of the room. For a long time she paced the lawn, restless and agitated. Then suddenly she saw Akila coming toward her. I've been looking for you. You could have told me you were sitting on the lawn. Jahanzeb called on my mobile. He said he'll call again in a little while, she informed her. Umid felt an involuntary surge of happiness. That meant his anger had eased. She knew Jahanzeb well. She returned to the room with Akila. 15 minutes later, Jahanzeb called again. His anger had indeed subsided. He apologized to Umid for his harsh behavior, and Umid forgave him wholeheartedly. Can you come to Rawalpindi this weekend? He asked. Why? My family wants to come to your house. I'll come with them. If not here, then at least we can meet there. All right, I'll come to Rawalpindi, she agreed happily. As soon as the call ended, Akila said to her, Your fortune, Umid, that you found someone like Jahanzeb. Anyone else, I think, he really does love you. Umid smiled with quiet pride at Akila's words. Yes, there's no doubt he loves me. He understands me. Saying that, she went to the mess to get food. That weekend, she went to Rawalpindi. That night, Jahanzeb arrived with his family. As always, his cheerfulness was at its peak. My mother has come today to fix the date, he told her when he came into her room. What? She almost cried out. So soon? Is this soon? Just a reminder, our engagement is 8 or 9 years now. Besides, I've come back to settle down. I have a job. Obviously, I have to set up a home. But Jahanzeb, I still have so many responsibilities. My sister and brothers are still, she tried to say. Hey, don't worry about your family. I can support them. My pay is terrific. The amount you earn by living in another city and working all day, I can give that much effortlessly. So, you don't need to worry about this at all. He sounded completely assured. I don't want this, Jahanzeb, that you support my family. This is something I must do myself because it's my responsibility, not yours. I don't want to make them a burden on you or on anyone else. Her voice grew serious as she said it. They will not be a burden on me. You know inside and out what kind of relationship we have with your family. And besides, when your brothers, he went on, can stand on their own feet, they won't need to take anything from us at all. It's only a matter of a few years. No, not even for a few years, Umid said firmly. I don't want to make them indebted to you. You've already done so much for me. Umid, I haven't done you any favor. Get that thought out of your mind. I love you, and whatever I've done it as a duty. Even so, I don't want to make my family someone else's responsibility. All right, then this can work, can it? Jahanzeb suggested, trying to bring the discussion to an end. Even after marriage, you can continue your job and support your family with your own salary. Will you allow me to work? She paused, deep in thought. Yes, until your family no longer needs it, you can keep working, Jahanzeb said at once. She fell silent. A month and a half later, her wedding date was finalized. After the weekend, she returned to Lahore. Naturally, she felt calm and content. A new chapter of her life was about to begin. She informed the hostel administration that she would be leaving the hostel the following month. The girls she knew there also came to notice that she was getting married. Jahanzeb called her often. Over the phone, as always, he expressed his love and spoke of his plans for their marriage. The bitterness of a few days earlier seemed to have vanished entirely from his memory. Umid thought perhaps he would never again ask her to meet him outside. But she was wrong.